What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Stokes back with another one, and welcome to the Convo Show. We got a good one today, people. Today we're going to be talking about should the body count matter, and it's a juicy one. And it's been a hot topic since I brought it up. I got a lot of things that I want to address, a lot of comments that I want to respond to from Instagram and everything. So without further ado, let's start the conversation. There's first of all, I did a poll on Instagram. Let me get my notes together here. I did a poll on Instagram and literally 79% of people said no, the body count does not matter. Hands down, the body count does not matter. And the rest of the individuals said yes, it does. And as you can see, that's a lopsided victory already. And yes, I am part of the 79. I believe the body count does not matter. Only because you're trying to pursue a future. So why are you focused on somebody's past? And I'll leave that right there because I'm going to get back to that. But I want to respond to some of the comments that were left on my post. As I said that I would. I said I would address these comments when I recorded it. So here they go. One comment was, well, since you asked, it most certainly does. It lets me know the size of the risk I'm taking by getting involved. It speaks to their character, and they just ain't satisfied. And their carelessness of the body count is high, crazy, or insane. If it's low or non existent, either they're celibate or there is something just plain wrong. Shrug shoulders, just my opinion. So, in this instance, I agree with some points of this, just not all of it. When it comes down to uh, them having a high body count, I don't attribute that to carelessness or insane or crazy. I just see that at one point, there's two ways I can go with this. At one point, they may have been broken. At another point, they may have been just being themselves. Because at the end of the day, biblically, it is wrong to have sex before marriage. But let's be honest, people. Some people just like sex. Some people are able to just have sex and walk away from it. And that's just called a spade a spade. So if I see somebody with a high body count, or if I'm talking to somebody with a high body count, that means that it's one of those instances. There was a tragic moment in their life. They did not care. They just wanted to be free. They just wanted to, not carelessness, but they wanted to be free. They might have been still, because carelessness to me means you're just having unprotected sex. But if you're being free, that means you're practicing safe sex, in my opinion. I just don't want to use the word carelessness too freely because that means to me is you're just opening yourself up to either diseases or a baby, being pregnant. But if you're out there and you're practicing safe sex, but you just enjoy the act of sex, you enjoy connecting, then okay. That's just something that you did in that moment of life. But now that we're talking, I just need you to understand that that's done. Because I can't, if I focus on something that, if I focus on where you were in life and I was not with you, then how can I get to being with you in life if I'm so focused on when I wasn't with you? I didn't have anything to do with that, but I can, not that I can change you, but I can attribute to your future. So that's my response to that one. The next one is, why is it just a big deal? Like that was their past. I think it helps open up a healthy dialogue. If it's high, they had to be looking for something. If it can help you out in the long run. So I see the angle that this person was taking, where basically they feel like I feel. It does not matter. It's their past. I can't change their past, but their past doesn't change the fact that I'm still attracted to them. Because that's the main point that I have, is that when you met that person, you were attracted to them. You wanted to get the cookie anyway, which is probably what the same other guys were saying when they looked at her. She just allowed them to get it. So what are you going to do to change the outcome of the result? Because clearly she's not with them. So what are you going to do so she stays with you? Are you just pursuing because you just want the cookie? Or are you actually pursuing for a relationship? So I see exactly where they're coming from, but it does create a dialogue. It does create a conversation, because you should have the conversation of saying, if it comes up, because I don't even bring it up, because it doesn't matter. If I bring it up, I'm only going to add more stress to my life that I don't need. I already got bills and school loans to take care of that. Why would I want to add to my life by knowing all your past encounters? I just want to change your future and be your light and be your prince in shining armor. So there's no point in me focusing on something that I cannot change. So I agree with you there. The next one was the comment says, it most certainly does. Sex is a spiritual connection among other types, and some of these spirits remain attached to people even when they move on. Definitely get that, but what about the people that goes back to my last point who just like to have sex? I get that it transfers energy. And matter of fact, I can kind of agree with this one. I can kind of agree. I'm kind of in the middle with this one, because I do feel like people are able to have sex and move forward. But you don't know in the long run how that can affect that person by having so many partners, because I do believe that the more partners you have, the more people you have to compare the one person that you end up staying with. I feel like you're going to be comparing to all those other partners, and it can cloud your judgment. It can cloud your thought process. So I'm kind of in the middle with this one. Um, I can see both sides of it. And the last person said, the count doesn't matter. The count doesn't matter. The name next to the number in the count matters. Now that's a big one. That's a big one. Because if it's an active body on your count, it matters. It definitely matters. If it's an active body on your count, it definitely matters. And if it's somebody personal, if it's somebody that you know, and they're in arm's reach, like let's say I'm a guy, right? I'm talking to a female, and a person on their body count is their best friend. Um, that can raise flags. That can be awkward. So I can definitely see that. Definitely agree with that comment there. And then they had some comments underneath, but those are the main comments that I had that I wanted to make sure that I addressed here um, on the show. But with that being said, people, I still believe that at the end of the day, we have a sexual attraction to the opposite sex. And in the today's world we live in, we have a sexual attraction, not me myself, but individuals of the LGBT community have sexual attraction to the same sex. But either way, there's a sexual attraction to another human being. Okay, so with that sexual attraction, you can't tell me that you're not thinking about the cookie. To me, in my mind, the first thing you're looking at is, I want to, not just saying like to be so raw and raunchy, I want to have sex with that person. No, but what you're saying is that person is attractive. I want to pursue them. You want to create that connection. And that's why I kind of understand where that comment was coming from, because you want to get a spirit, you want to get a connection. Sex is a connection. It's a awesome feeling connection, but it's a connection nonetheless. And you want to feel that because you are sexually drawn to that person, and you want to feel that person. You want to create that connection. You want to see them with their clothes off. Like, it's all about the cookie until you get to know them. Then you start building on a different level, on a different connection. So, but you can't tell me that your first instinct wasn't sex, or it wasn't sexual, because it was. Because the first stage of love is attraction. And nothing in that first stage says you're worried about a body count. Just being honest. And this goes two ways, because right now I'm speaking on the level of seeing that person for the first time and being attracted, but there's also an instance of where you've already had sex with that person, and then you get the body count after, and now you act like you can't be with them, or you looking at them sideways because their body count is high, or whatever the case may be. That is, to me, is false, because if they don't have a disease, if there's no baby inside and they're trying to say the baby is yours and the timeline don't add up because you just started messing with them 6 months ago and they popped out a baby um, in 6 months, you know that don't add up. So if there's no disease, if there's no HIV, syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, if there's nothing like that, and here's the thing, it was nice and tight, it smelled like water, you came just fine every time, and both of y'all were happy and smiling, what's the issue? You was in that thing riding it like it was 1999, hitting that thing for the back. What was the issue? Because there was no problem when you were in there hitting the goal and making the goal that you set for yourself when you first met them, because you know it was on the back of your mind, especially if you're a guy. And some women do it too. I'm not gonna, y'all not safe. Especially if you're a guy, you know that there was a sexual connection and you were in pursuit. You were in pursuit. Let's just call a spade a spade. And you were and when you finally did get the cookie, you were in that thing, you were fine. Then you found out the body count. Now you're looking at that chick sideways. For what? You don't got no disease. You ain't got her pregnant. You just, like, you're sitting here letting society place this limit, this bias over your significant other who could be your wife, because you're worried about where she was when somebody hurt her, when she was broken, or her dad wasn't in her life, or she was a foster child or adopted. You don't know what that person's story is for you to judge them based on their past. Because if you look at your past, you probably did some effed up things too. It may not have been sex related, but it might have been something else. And they still took you in and still decided to open up their legs and have sex with you. So don't sit here and judge somebody based off of their body count when they're still willing to love you for all the wrongs that you did. So he who is without sin cast the first stone. And I also look at this courting thing as like buying a used car. When you go to buy a car, right? I like to buy from CarMax. Usually when I buy from CarMax, that means it's a fleet car. A fleet car, for people that don't know, means it's a rental. So that means multiple people have been in and out of that car on a daily, weekly basis. And even when they rent the car, people are getting in the car. But what do you do when you go buy a car? What do you ask for? The Carfax. So when you ask for the Carfax, what do you look for? You don't look to see, dang, how many people were in this rental? Oh, okay. Oh, they went to Florida. Oh, man, they probably had a lot of people in there. Oh, they went to Vegas. Ooh, probably got drunk, probably might have had sex in there. You don't think about that. What do you look for? Any major accidents? Any major repairs that I need to know about? Was the engine replaced? You look for major accidents, major repairs that you need to know about if you're going to purchase that car. Well, it's the same thing like a female, people, well, men or people. It's the same thing. When you get with a girl, and I'm going to speak from the man perspective because I am a man. When you get a girl, you looking for any major accidents, any major illnesses, any current pregnancies. That's what I could equate it to. You're looking for sicknesses and pregnancies. You try to make sure that they don't coincide. Some people, they're checking to make sure what's there was there from birth. I'm just saying, people, do not get mad at me. I'm just expressing myself. So once you get the Carfax and you check that this person has no illnesses, they're clean, they have a clean bill of health, there's no babies hanging inside that they're trying to put you out on the string for to try to say it's yours, and everything was there from birth, then, and if it's not there from birth and that you have an agreement, then that's okay with you too. But why does it matter? Why does it matter who they've been with? Now, unless they acting crazy or doing something else. But at this point, you guys are still dating and courting each other, so it really doesn't matter. So I look at it the same way. We don't think about the body count. You should not think about the body count. It should not matter. It has happened before you, and if you are pursuing that person for an honest relationship, it's nothing else is going to happen after you. Guess what? You're the last one. And that's all there is to it, people. I really wanted some more comments, and I'm pretty sure I'll get some more comments after this video. So please comment below, either here or on Instagram when I post the little commercial for it. But please comment, hit the bell, comment, like, a tag, spread the word, repost this. But seriously, guys, the body count shouldn't matter. If you really want to pursue something and you really want to make yourself righteous and get married and pursue that person, the body count shouldn't matter. And if you're out here just having sex for the heck of it, the body count definitely shouldn't matter, because I know your body count's high anyway. And this is Jay Stokes, and that's all I got to say. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.